Welcome to the In My Opinion Show with Ronald, Barry, Robinson, and friends. Seen on the internet, 24 hours, 7 days a week. We're seen on Flint, Michigan, Comcast Cable 17 every Wednesday at 8:30 and every Saturday at 6. We're also seen on Detroit, Michigan, Comcast Cable Television, channel 68 every Sunday at 9 o'clock. We're also seen on channel 20 downriver every Tuesday at 1 and every Saturday at 1. I want to welcome all of our millions of viewers worldwide, and especially my very talented co-host. We have Mr. Henry Hatter.
Hi, Ron. And Dr. Denise.
Hello there.
We have Miss
Jackie.
and we have Just Jackie.
Just Jackie.
Okay. And we have Dr. Denise Smith-Allen. Welcome.
Hello, Ron. Hello, everybody.
Let's talk about America versus North Korea. They have thumbed their noses at the United States for years with threats of nuclear annihilation. North Korea has also threatened Japan. North Korea has been officially at war with South Korea since 1950 to 1953. The war between them only ended in a truce. Are we on the verge of World War III? Henry, let's go to you first.
Ron, that's a good question. But I think the first thing we have to do is align who we are, who we support, what we believe in. If we believe in American people, American policies, America itself, we will align ourselves with the American people. The American people must be consolidated in their thoughts about any war that we may have, because it would be too late after the war starts to line up, and it cannot be undone. Korea has been a threat to that region for many, many years. Throwing bombs out in the Sea of Japan monthly has threatened not only Japan but South Korea, and both are just ridden with anger because of that, and nobody stands up to it. And if you take a look at a map of North Korea, it is sitting right underneath the tip of China and adjacent to Russia. So we cannot have any collateral damage. You know that. We run a tremendous risk just talking to them, engaging them, sparring with them. So it's something to think about. Do I think, now your question is, do I think we're on the verge of a world war? No. It's possible, but not probable.
Well, with the climate in Washington, D.C., okay, and within the military, people are up in arms, especially these war hawks. All right, people make billions of dollars off of wars, and I think that President Trump ought to think about a lot of things that he's saying. In terms of, he just had something tweeted about the North Korean president.
Mm-hmm. He's a bully.
Sure, he's
That's
a bully.
what you said, asking the question.
Sure, the North Korean president is a bully, but is Trump persuading other leaders that are not friends with the United States? Is he encouraging him with his rhetoric, meaning Trump, as it reflects on North Korea?
No, I think here's something that people have waited around the world for: someone to stand up to North Korea.
But why is America always the one that has to?
I can't help it, because they are targeted.
Mm-hmm.
The president of North Korea says that he wants to fight the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we should engage him. If it comes to that, we should not be a coward and just cave in. We have to be prepared.
I understand that.
We should not cave in. That's what gave rise to Trump.
Well, diplomacy does work.
Yeah,
okay?
Sometimes it does, but sometimes you need boots.
Boots on the ground.
But those are
boots
American.
on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at what expense?
Those are the expenses that war cost.
We've been in Korea already.
Yeah. But guys, I'll tell you what, I am on the side of the Americans. And whatever goes, I'm behind the United States. This is where I live. This is where I was born.
But see, we have to think deeper than that.
Right.
Well,
these are our children.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to have to
save
fight.
our children.
That's going to have to fight this war and so forth. All
But
right?
we have to save our children.
But this is what
Exactly.
the White House is saying. A lot of the correspondents and also the senators are speaking out, and what they're saying is that our president lacks a plan to many things that he does. So without even thinking of the whole intent of his tweet, he'll go out and say some very detrimental things. And then he doesn't have a plan. And so as we say that North Korea is a bully, we are starting to act like a
That's
bully.
the problem right there. We take the sides of the enemy. And
No, you don't take the side of the
detrimental
enemy.
Not at
to
all.
the country.
Not
But you
at
have
all.
to call
Hang
a spade
on.
a spade. You have to call a
Yeah.
spade a spade.
We will all. There are people who say they were waiting for the big blinding flash right in the center of Washington from a bomb. Because that's, I hear that guy.
Okay, but let me
And then,
say
you know,
this.
stop and think about it.
North Korea and the leader there has been making these overtures to the world, basically, but now it's targeting America strong.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's very, frightening for me is because we have someone who is of the same mindset
Yeah.
as he. So ultimately, one of them is going to push the button.
That's right.
And it's going to happen. And then there's going to be
How
casualties.
can you say it's going to happen?
Because
We haven't had a nuclear bomb dropped on any country since 1947, August the 9th.
Listen. When I say
1945.
push the button, I'm talking about any and all of the military sanctions that can be imposed. I'm not just talking about nuclear war. I'm just saying about starting the war, having a war. This is what all of this is leading up to.
Right.
And as Ron had mentioned, there are people who are going to benefit financially if
the
a war
war.
is engaged. And what we have going on in the White House now, it's scary because I believe they would be the benefactors of this.
Well, you
Of the-
think that people will go to war just to make money?
Yes.
Yes.
Hang on. And risk everything?
Yes.
You think that there are people with that kind of mental derangement?
We have names and numbers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We did
Right-
it before.
Right,
I would
now.
caution you. The rest of the world is more logical than that.
Shaney
The
made
United States
Shaney
is more
made
logical.
billions.
That's
Hello?
all right. But
Okay.
we're not going to risk nuclear war. Just-
Well, again,
just-
you're saying nuclear, and I said it's a
doesn't
broader
necessarily-
stroke than
that's
that.
right.
It's a
Yeah.
broader stroke. I'm not just saying
I think
pushing that
he
button.
asked the nuclear war. That's
Pardon?
what he asked. The question was, are we on a binge of nuclear war?
No, I think he said World War III.
World War
Yeah.
III, okay.
But the other thing to consider too, and this is why they're telling him to dial back. They were telling him that we don't want to make things worse than what they are, because he just released a video. Was it last week or where he bombed the White House? No, it
Kim
wasn't. It
Jong-un?
wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't the White House. It was the Capitol. Did you see that?
No.
They had a video of it showing that it bombed the Capitol.
Who did? Kim Jong-un?
Yes,
Okay.
and they showed it.
And we cowered away and ran the other way.
No.
I mean, it's
That ain't
kind of
gonna
like the
happen.
thing you have to think about this. I mean, you know how you have to
We
think of
got
the same
a lot
thing
of
that
men
we
and
taught.
women in the army now. in the Air
And
Force.
none of their
They ain't gonna let
kids,
that happen.
none of the people that are making these decisions, kids will die in the war.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah.
So you have to consider all the people we lost. We just lost a lot of people last week. We don't need to keep losing people
How?
to wars that are unnecessary.
Well, I don't think we're in a war.
But they're combating, and we lost some soldiers
Yeah.
last week.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's unfortunate, but we don't want that to happen. But guys, we must remain strong, that peace be preserved in the world. We are the leaders,
Then act like it.
along with two other countries, Japan and China. And we, the United States, must remain one of those strong leaders so that we can preserve the peace. There are too many people with the bomb already. You got India, you got Afghanistan, you got Canada, you got Australia, you got tremendous number of countries with.
You got China.
Yeah, and we mentioned China.
Their next door neighbors, North Korea. Do you think for one moment, I don't, that China's not going to jump in if we bomb North Korea?
Well, China's already told
what they say, what they say and what they
Yeah.
do are two
We don't want to
different
get
things.
hit by those missiles
Right.
coming from the United States.
Yeah, they keep telling everybody to dial back because we're trying to avoid what we're running into. But your president will not listen to counsel. He just get out there like a little kid on a mic.
I don't
and
know.
he says stuff because he's a bully.
Hang on, I don't think that people are criticizing the United States, the president of the United States, for taking that position. They're not
Your
criticizing.
TV must don't work.
Yeah, but they're not criticizing. As a matter
Yes,
of
they
fact, some
are.
are applauding him for
Because
staying.
it probably wouldn't make any difference to Trump because he was a draft dodger. His sons are draft dodging. They've never spent one day in the military. Neither has his daughters. Okay, and he doesn't have the foggiest idea. I think my 15-year-old daughter could run the presidency better than him.
And I think you're right.
And your grandson,
He gonna get that one. I love him.
Cameron?
no, the oldest
Chip.
one,
Any of them.
No, Joshua.
Joshua. All right.
Yeah.
He and my daughter, they could run the White House
I
much better
agree.
than Trump. Okay.
But you know, like you were criticizing the president of the United States, Trump, that he hasn't been a draft dodger and stuff like that.
Yes.
But guess what? I have.
You're either a draft dodger or you're not. There ain't no ands if buts about it. All right. He's a punk.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's a coward. All right.
But I have stalkers
All that-
who have checked my record. They say, Henry, you ain't nobody because you've never been in the military. You're a draft dodger. And that's easy to say to me, but only 5% of the people in the United States are in the military. And most of those now are women. They have to say this
No,
for
I
themselves.
disagree with you there, Henry. I disagree.
But
with
it's
you.
going to get that. By 20% of them, I mean by
Was that an alternative fact? that you just gave?
2020, 50% of the military will be
But
white.
right now, that's an alternative fact.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it's about time, you know. It's about time equality.
So right now, it's not like that.
You know.
Yeah,
And the
20%.
approval rate shows what America thinks about him. He has the worst approval rating than any other president in the United States. And they said normally after February is better. His is still going down.
Yeah.
So when you say they approve of him and they applaud him, it's just the people that are
But
at his
guys,
rallies.
hang on. His tenure is not over yet. He's only it's like one
To
of
some of
days
us,
into.
to some of us,
and
it's
there
been
are
over.
people beginning to change their mind about Donald Trump.
It just don't show the
And
numbers.
especially-
many of them are black people
Especially,
changing their mind about Donald Trump.
That's
you've
not.
just been brainwashed out there. where
He
you
been
live,
looking in
my
the
Well,
friend.
you gotta read more.
Okay, no, you need to read more. Okay?
Wow.
Well, I gotta give you a book. I won't put it in a book. Maybe I have to tell you.
You've been reading. Where you're getting your news from is probably from the National Enquirer.
Kellyanne is
Oh,
giving him
yeah,
his
Kellyanne,
news.
you know.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that too,
alternative
but
fact.
also other people who
And then also
I observe.
breaking news. There's congressmen in Washington D.C. are planning his overthrow. All right.
That's always the case. They planned
You know what I mean?
Obama's overthrow.
Well,
But
but this
Obama
is
sat there for 8 years.
But Obama was not an idiot as much as Trump
Yeah,
is.
there's no
all right?
comparison.
There's no comparison
That's
whatsoever.
because a lot of Republicans like Obama.
Well, who likes your
and
plan?
these are the ones that are
I do.
working on Mr. Trump hitting the highway.
Well, he's
You
his
know what I mean?
worst enemy. So they don't even have to work on it. Just let him keep doing what he's doing.
Well, guys, you know, American politics and politics, no matter where you are, in France, England, Germany, wherever, they're the same. What you see in the United States occurring is also what's going on in those countries. People are restless. Why? I don't know.
Restless because of their economic situation, for the
Well,
most
everybody
part.
can't be rich. They can't have
No,
Trump towers.
no. I'm not speaking about that. But
I don't
if you're
have
talking,
one.
If
Even
you're,
I
if
don't
you're
have
talking, if you're talking about particularly in America, you know, the middle class is being wiped out.
And
And so when you have the middle class struggling to make ends meet and looking at the American dream, which is now the American nightmare for many, okay? This is why you have this rise in the racial divide and everything else. It all comes back down follow the money trail.
Trump
And
says
now-
he's going to change that.
Yeah, he's making changes, and the changes are detrimental. I mean, our topic right now, if we're still talking about America and Korea, it still stems from the fact that if a war is imminent, which is very possible under this administration, we're going to see an upsurge, and already they've talked about it in terms of the military spending.
Yeah.
And they have put a lot of money
The best military in the world.
They put all this money into the military at the expense of social programs and things of that nature, and people are suffering. They're suffering.
But the military expenditures create jobs. They put people to work.
Where?
They raise the
A standard of living
Standard
for
of
who?
living.
No.
for all
During
who
the war,
engages.
during the war,
And
statistics show that the economy is horrible during the time of war because
But
all the
guys,
money is concentrated in the military.
Let
So
me tell
that's
you,
not true.
If we didn't have a war in 1941, blacks may still be cotton field people. Okay? But it gave us a rise, an opportunity. We're there. We're part of the middle class. And we've been there since 1941. And yet, we have changed things, and we're continuing to change things. And even though it doesn't appear that way to all people, but it is true. That's why the four of us are sitting here voicing what we think is right. Some of us, maybe some of us are voicing what we
Yeah,
think
because
is
we
right.
know you're not. we know you're not.
We're going to change gears slightly here. President Trump's 100 days, was it a success or failure? In my opinion, the vote to abolish or replace Obamacare is not going to fly because it's not going to pass the Senate.
You're projecting, you're predicting, you're procrastinating.
Yes, I am. I'm not procrastinating.
It's past the House, okay?
That's irrelevant.
Okay. Hang on, it is
That
not
doesn't
irrelevant.
mean that
That's
doesn't
a
mean
sign.
anything.
That's
and
a trend.
Come 2018, a lot of them Republicans are going to be retired.
It's not a trend. They said, even on the news last night, you got to turn that TV on. On the news last night, what they said was that the House passed it because they are comfortable in being reelected. At least they think they are. But they go back and say when Obamacare passed, everybody lost their seat.
But guys, I'm going to tell you.
Tell all your friends, when Obamacare passed, all of them lost their seats. So why they think they're comfortable, you watch 2018.
Okay, guys, this is really, really good. This is why I predict that by the end of the decade, we will have an American health care that's workable and acceptable by the American people. The Democrats first put it on the table and won it and put it into law. Okay? Now, and there are several things that all of the American people like about Obamacare. One is the
Preconditions.
preconditioned condition and children remaining on their parents' insurance. Nobody wants that change. I've said that before on this show. We're going to get better. We got some glitches here to get over. And everybody must be at the table and put the 2 cents worth in so that it would be an acceptable package to the American people. And although it looks as though we're at our throats all the time, but that must happen because progress is very slow and wheels of government turns slower than that.
Okay, well, let's go back to the 100 days. Now, you look at the 100 days, he has wrote no legislator. They said they have never seen this happen before. Hold on. And all of the executive orders that he has signed, they said they're like memos. And so he signed all these executive orders, but they're all hurtful executive orders, most of them. Like,
to whom?
I'm getting ready to explain.
Okay.
For one, he removed the cap of being able to get a gun if you're mentally ill. That really worked out for us, didn't it? that really worked out for us, didn't it? I mean, so he removed that. He removed where you're they can sell your information now. We're not protected, but this is the man that was supposed to help us rise up. We're not protected, so now you got everybody selling your information, and it's legal.
Oh, that's been going on for years.
No,
everybody knows my record. Everybody knows yours and yours and yours. There's no secrets anymore.
And you're just feeling some kind of way because of your one thing. No, everybody do have secrets. I still have mine.
Well, don't you be so sure. Because everybody's information is out there.
But so you look at the 100 days. I don't know where success comes because his whole goal is to undo everything Obama did, even though it was good. He just wants to undo it so that he can say that he accomplished something. Because in his own mind, he can't accomplish anything but besides saying very, very.
And I'd like to say this about the 100 days. You got to remember he got the no justice. Okay, that's an accomplishment. He said he would have one. And so now we got a new justice. The Supreme Court has been filled. Number 2, he stood up to Iran, that nuclear agreement. He says, Iran, we're not going to live with that. And they said, oh, yes, you will. So Trump slaps a 25%, what do you call it? Tariff.
Which is being investigated.
Okay. I don't care what it is.
I'm just telling you, it's being investigated.
What he did is says we're not going to go with that. Mm-hmm. He said that, and that's a kept promise. You got to remember, he's only been in office for 100 days.
It seemed like 100 years.
And we got to give him time to work out things. Government moves slow, okay? Mm-hmm. And there are several other things that he's done that, like the AHC, American Healthcare document. They used to call it the American Affordable Care Act. But so parties will keep the function of the legislation and change its name. In the old definition of American Affordable Care Healthcare, it was called ACA.
Now it's called Trump Care.
No, it's called AHC, American Healthcare, right? Mm-hmm. So it's the same law. Mm-hmm. Little has changed.
That's not true. Mm-hmm.
Except
what happened to the transparency? See, this is the concern I have. Mm-hmm. There's the transparency, and his whole thing. He deals with sound bites, and he also deals with going back to a base of support, like he's still at a rally. Mm-hmm. And so that is very troubling to me when you're talking about here those same people that he's going back. They had on CNN. They showed the various states that are going to be affected by the Affordable Care Act or whatever name it has right now negatively, and these were all states that supported him heavily.
Mm-hmm. Well, heavily,
and they're
going to for that.
Yeah,
that's
but it's true.
But that's not what you guys are saying.
Yes, it is.
You say it's going back and talking to his base. Isn't that good?
He doesn't have a base. He have a rally.
He has rallies.
Okay, it's a rallies, but you're still saying he's going back talking to his base.
He's talking to his base. He's not invigorating them. He himself is being invigorated.
Okay.
He's going back so that they can, a narcissist needs to have their ego stroked.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So therefore he goes back to people who don't know any better, and they have signs with his name and all that kind of stuff.
Regardless.
And it's so sad.
That's his basis of operation. That's how he chose to.
Because he canceled.
Did you read the article last Sunday that says a new kind of presidency?
No.
I skimmed it.
Yeah.
I skimmed it.
But he canceled. He canceled an important meeting.
Yeah, no. I read. I said I skimmed it. I skimmed it. And the thing about it is, yes, it is a new kind, but it's not the kind that the American people are going to be able to continue to live with.
It's not an example.
Well,
they're not going to live with
the American people are going to have to deal with him until his term is over.
He canceled an important meeting so he can go celebrate that it passed the whatever your AHC passed in the House. Mm-hmm. He canceled an important meeting with a foreign leader just so he can go celebrate at a rally.
I'm not so sure that that's what that's about. I think he is dealing with this foreign leader the way he wants to, the way he will achieve his benefits.
He doesn't have a plan.
Yeah, no, that might be true, but
we agree on that, Henry.
I don't know that. I haven't seen it.
But we agree on that.
How can you have a plan without having a conversation? That's what I want to know.
That's what you need to ask your president.
Yeah, but you guys have condemned him already.
No,
he's
what conversation?
Bringing this man to the White House, and he's probably talking about economic things, foreign policy issues. About the military, about terrorism.
Whatever he's talking about.
Whatever he's talking about, guys, you need to know that you need to have some background information.
He
and
needs to have
put
that
together
conversation with him.
to put together a plan.
Only-
You guys want him to go out blindly.
Only conversation Trump is having, okay, is on the golf course. Okay?
That's a good one because
No,
that's where you find
no.
lots of
Deals are made there.
Yeah.
We get that.
Yeah.
We get that. But it's really
Unfortunate.
President Obama did the same.
No, he did not.
Yeah.
No, he did
All
not.
presidents.
I would
did.
imagine to some degree all of them did.
They
but
all do that.
but what I'm talking about now is basic diplomacy.
Yeah.
It's so lacking. Even with the
But I thought
interview
Duarte is a good start.
even with that interview with one of the commentators was trying to get some
CBS,
questions.
and he walked off.
He walked off.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just so.
He says, "I've had it with the press, guys." You know,
But guess who else had it with
Duarte.
the press?
Who?
Hitler. You know, all of those people who wanted to do a dictatorship, they didn't want to answer to the press. And he is working on Constitution to remove the rights of the press. Did you know that?
you know, but that will never be done, guys.
Well, he's working on it. You know he's working
I
on
can
it?
tell you
He's
that
working on it.
the press will always be free in this country.
Well, let's hope so.
we
Let's
pray.
hope so.
We pray.
You guys
hope so.
don't jump to conclusions so quickly. This is a stable, rich country.
Oh, I thought
It
you
is
said
our
it's a
country.
stable
And
president. I was going to say no.
But it can withstand even unstable presidents.
No, it can't.
Is he unstable?
What was Jackson?
question is-
Let me ask you.
Is Trump unstable, Henry?
Is Trump unstable?
He was about as stable as Woodrow Wilson, as Johnson, Andrew Jackson. He was about as
That's not
stable as
good.
any of them.
That's not good.
Yeah. And I chose those because those are the ones that always get the comment. And I happen to like Jackson.
With that, we must bring the In My Opinion show to a close. This has been very interesting.
Yes, it has.
We will revisit this again, people. This is Ronald Berry Robinson and friends saying until next time, stay focused.